journey. Now, we go through the overviews of the previous teachings. So we took 2 weeks to get through Exodus chapter 12. So I'm going to bring up my final sheet for Exodus chapter 12 is before you. Exodus 12 had a lot in it. Although it was a short chapter, it had a lot of significant things in there. So it's very difficult for me to narrow down the key points that was notable for me. So chapter 12 was all about preparation for the 10th plague, the plague of the firstborn, and the redemption, because the children of Israel was redeemed from that plague. Then Jehovah put his calendar in place. He let them know that this would be the first month of the year for you. So these instructions for Jehovah's Passover in chapter 12 was basically putting information together for that Exodus that Egypt experienced. The first day, 10th day, pick a lamb. Fourth day, kill that lamb and roast it. The blood that you got from that lamb, you will put that blood on the doorpost. This is why you were in Egypt, on the doorpost. And when you eat, put your shoes on and staff in hand, because they will have to leave by haste. So all of this is a testimony to all generations, and that's for those who joined in. At midnight, that day in chapter 12, Jehovah smote all the firstborn in the land, from the throne, the captive, those who was in the dungeons or was in jail, wherever they were at, and to the animals, the cattle. Now, this battle was with Jehovah, with Egypt, because they had put his people into bondage, into slavery. Because Jehovah won this battle, the children of Israel was able to get all the jewels and the silver, jewels of the gold, and the raiments that they were promised by Jehovah when he told Abraham they're going to leave Egypt with their goods, because they put Israel into slavery, free labor, so they owed them. From that moment, when they was gathering all the things, and when Pharaoh told Moses to get out of my land and from my people, there was 600,000 men, not counting the children, and a mixed multitude that left out of there. Now, let's think about this mixed multitude, because the mixed multitude was not natural born children of Israel. So could it be that this mixed multitude listened to the instructions that were given to the children of Israel about redemption, putting the blood on the post, getting the lambs? Did they participate in that? Or did some of them lose some firstborn and begin to believe? So the mixed multitude did join in. The armies of Jehovah walked out of there in order by tribal. Now, the question that I propose to you guys, I probably should have put it on there. How many tribes left out of there? Because when you hear about the children of Israel, most people go straight to the 12 tribes. Now, we do know that Israel adopted Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. So there's a total of 14 tribes, children, but 13 tribes that went out, because Joseph one became two. So they all walked out of there in that area. So what was the most interesting thing that I read in that chapter 12 that people overlook, is that there was one law for the homeborn and the stranger that sojourn among you. It was never this set of people do this and this set of people do that. It was always one law, one kingdom, because a kingdom divided cannot stand. And we learned that from the Messiah. And my insights. Yeshua has given a warning about leaven. So when Yeshua taught us that leaven is false teaching, not sin. And so for some reason in Exodus chapter 12 and 13 and henceforth in the Torah, people get leaven as sin, but it's false teaching. Jehovah instructions law began in Egypt. These instructions that he's given about Passover, unleavened bread, the lamb, and all this type of stuff began in Egypt, not at Mount Sinai. Jehovah is open to others, not of the flock, to join the flock, as long as they follow the same instructions. And this is what we got from Yeshua himself in John 10 and 16. If you see my cross references there, he said, there's sheep of another flock that there's a sheep of the other flock that I have to get to bring in. So he was able to bring us all in because Yeshua died for the world, not for any particular tribe or particular nation. So, and I will continue to follow the commandments as best as I can and keep the testimony of Yeshua. I have my word study, which is understanding what Passover means and convocation, the cross reference, and no question